According to his co-creator Jim Starlin, Mongul is his version of DC Comics' Thanos. His other co-creator, Lane Wayne, claims that Mongul was based on Genghis Khan. If he's based on Thanos, wouldn't that make Mongul a second-rate Darkseid? Not at all. Mongul has the strength to fight Superman and crush Wonder Woman. He also controls Warworld, a planet-sized traveling fortress that he uses to conquer the universe. More importantly, Mongul wields the Black Mercy, a plan that created encompassing simulations, confusing and destroying the psyche of both Superman and Batman in a classic Alan Moore and Dave Gibbon comic book. This figure is huge, about 9 inches. Let's check out this DC Multiverse action figure in detail. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling in since 2002. Like and subscribe. There's been many versions of Mogul. He usually dresses in blue and purple, and his arms are usually bare. He often has some kind of contraption here, metal contraption here and on his back. And his face is half covered with metal here, like some kind of helmet. Besides that, the character can look very different. And that's what McFarlane did with him here. They innovated, they sculpted this entire contraption here for the power beam on his chest. Mind you, Mogul can also shoot lasers from his eyes, a bit like Darkseid. So this is Mogul. So in terms of look, there's no definitive look. He'll look different depending on the artist that's drawing him. But I do like that McFarlane decided to make one version of Mogul that is probably going to be reused by a lot of artists in the future. In terms of articulation, you can see that there are no cuts at the bicep here. So it's one whole structure, and there's a single elbow articulation. There is double articulation at the knees, fortunately, and it's well done. He can also lift his thighs, but just like any McFarlane action figure, he's got the diaper problem here, which limits how much he can raise his thighs. He can't really do the split. Well, he can, but that's the maximum he can do. And that's okay with this kind of character. You wouldn't want to stretch him more than that. People or guys that beefy usually aren't able to do the split anyway. You can't really bend his elbows too much, less than 90 degrees, because the arm cover here on the forearms actually covers and prevents you from bending the elbow even more than that. You can rotate his chest and pivot the chest pretty well, as you can see, but there are no cut underneath here at the stomach. The abs, there are no cuts there, or just above, or just underneath the pectorals. The figure can stand because his feet are flat with tiny action figure pegs, and he has toe articulation, and they're not too soft, so he can stand up. You may have to bend his knee just a bit to find the right pause, because he will fall. He's been falling a bit since I've got him a few days ago, so it's not like he's gonna just stay like that. He's not exactly top heavy because the chest is very hollow, so he's not too heavy there, but it's easy to see him just go timber. He's a big figure after all. This is him compared with the classic Superman. As you can see, he really topples the character, and that's okay. That's the way he should look. Now, this Wonder Woman is a bit taller than she should be, so it's not a great example. Something that surprised me with Mogul was the fact that he has only 4 fingers, and I check in the comics and so on, and most of them, well, back in the Dave Gibbons days and so on, gave him only 3 fingers. Again, remember that this guy is supposed to be DC's Thanos, so in a way he's kind of a Darkseid-like type of character. He really looks good. I'm getting a Darkseid. He should be coming soon, so I can't wait to compare the two of them and see how they fare, which one looks more menacing and so on. I know Darkseid is supposed to be the Uber villain here, although Mogul was able to hurt Superman in a way that no one has ever been able to hurt him before. Now, this thing did not come with a Black Mercy flower. So I've got some kind of a Black Mercy. Please don't hate me. This is from Nemesis Enforcer. And if you put this on Superman, you could have maybe a Black Mercy like structure on Superman, like that bends on his chest and makes him dream about things, a world he'll never live for. This way. That's a way of getting a Black Mercy if you really want a Black Mercy for your Superman action figure. Obviously, you'd have to fit this creature a bit better. And this thing is not even a plant. It's supposed to be something else with tentacles. But hey, we don't have a Black Mercy. We need to make do with what we have. And I'm pretty sure you've got parts like these lying around in your collection. So these make perfect Black Mercies if you really want to try and say that this guy has been attacked by Mogul in a way that no one else has ever attacked him. Kind of looks creepy, but that's what the Black Mercy did, right? It looked creepy. And as for Wonder Woman, well, she kind of faced Mogul, but didn't fare very well. Mogul is so big that he's out of frame in the camera. It's a good figure. I like it. You can also move his head a bit, but you have to be careful not to scratch the sides too much, although they're in soft plastic or rubber-like plastic. But it's paint on silver, so you don't want to damage that, scratch it in any way. I'm pretty sure you could remove the limbs, the parts here. Same thing for the legs. You could also remove this, but you may not want to do that. You may want to keep it as is. I can see some white on the plastic. I don't know if that's from me bending the knees a bit. If that's the case, the figure is a bit cheap. But he's very sturdy, and if you pause him well, I'm pretty sure you could have a good looking Mogul here. Pause him well. Give you some contrapposto thing. And you have a very dynamic villain. If you raise this opposing leg just a bit, you could have a walking villain here. That would be your Mogul, trying to take on Superman, so on. There's not much to say about this. I don't remember when the figure was released exactly, but it's a good figure. You may have to use one of those McFarlane action figure stand. I'm pretty sure if you collect McFarlane, you have plenty of them. Most of the figures come with one, so it shouldn't be a problem if you feel that the figure is not solid enough on its own legs, that it topples a bit. You can always use one of those. That's what I had to say about this figure. I like it. I've been going kind of crazy on DC Multiverse. It's about time I did. But then they're releasing great figures, and I've been looking and finding older figures like this John Constantine and other figures, and recent edition like the Hawk Girl that I reviewed just a few days ago here. So I think the line is finally picking up, and I will say that I really regret the fact that McFarlane is losing the license. I'm not looking forward for anything from Mattel, and I'm gonna have to restrict myself from collecting any Mattel action figures. I think I'll be fine with this collection, and it'll be enough for my DC collection. As long as they give me Black Canary and Zatanna, well, I should be fine with those. Maybe they could make some kind of Robin or something, but I saw today that they were making a new Deathstroke, so I'm not complaining about that either. That should be a great addition to any collection. So this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, figurines since 2002. Like and subscribe.